some reason, I couldn't see comments, I couldn't see anything. And I love YouTube. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter. So, what we were talking about was about, are we scamming ourselves? And what I mean by that is basically like self deception. And sometimes I think that not sometimes, but I think that it is easier for us to blame other people for the things that happen when sometimes we are the ones that made the decision to put ourselves in that situation. And I'm not talking about like when you legitimately get scammed, but I'm talking about making decisions in your life, maybe based just on your feelings or your emotions or, and not really doing things that are best for you, investing your time, investing your money into things that are not beneficial to your life, things that are really not, making you feel fulfilled. And there's really nothing truly on the outside of us that can bring us like happiness. Like happiness is a short-term situation, right? It's more of, we should want to feel joy and peace internally. And it's not an easy thing, right? Because life every day will hand us so many different things that we don't have any control over. Um, but the question that I had to ask myself so many times is, when I am feeling low and I'm in a headspace that is not serving me, because maybe some things in life aren't going right and there's so many things happening at one time and it feels just horrible, right? You're just really having a crappy day, you're having a crappy month, you may be having a crappy year. But once our brains start focusing consistently on things that are going wrong, it tends to show up in our world. And for me, I am someone that believes in the power of manifestation. I definitely know how our thoughts and our mindset will be something that shows up in our world, in our environment, and the people that we connect with. I truly believe that. Um, to me, it's just law, because there's been so many things in my life that are proven to me one way or another when it comes to manifestation in my mindset and my language and my thoughts. And I'm not saying that it's easy. It's not easy when you're dealing with things that are coming at you left and right. But on the other end of the spectrum for that, my thought is, if I can shift my mind, even in the darkest days or when I'm feeling in the most despair, if I can have a little bit of a shift to change my perspective, it will change how I see things, even in the next hour. Have you ever just been in a really bad mood? And so every single thing that it seems like happens after your mood changes is like, it doesn't feel good. It's like you start, like somebody could say something to you and they don't mean it in that way that you're perceiving it, but because you're in a bad mood, you're quote unquote taking it the wrong way. So our mindset and what's going on in our thoughts, it gives us the perception of something that's actually not realistic in our lives. So the question is, could that be for many things that are happening in our life? Even though the reality is maybe our bank account is not showing what we want to see, but could it be our perception that it has to stay that way forever? Could the relationships in our lives that in that moment they seem to be having a down cycle, or things could be happening, but could it just be our perception? And that maybe if we change or the person changes and we look at ourselves differently, the way that we're relating to each other differently, maybe that change in our mindset could change the outcome of what is actually happening, and it just be our perception of the thing. So the question is, are we scamming ourselves by our thoughts that really aren't real about what's actually happening in our lives? Because just like things don't feel good or feel bad or feel miserable or you're dealing with a lot of stuff, there is another side to that where things could be going well. And even though we're dealing with life things, the way that we look at what's actually going on could shift our perception, and it could change the way that we're actually feeling in that moment. I hope that somebody is getting me. I know that I'm tired, but I really felt that I was supposed to get on here and speak, even through YouTube getting weird on me and me having to restart the live. Because I feel like even if it's just one person that connects to this message, because my whole point in saying this is whatever is happening in your life, even if it's just feeling just like the worst thing ever, it's temporary. And I think sometimes we get addicted to feeling sad. We get addicted to the anxiety. We get addicted to feeling low because we think that things can't get any better. But I'm here to tell you that they absolutely can. And just to be 100% transparent, it's work that you have to put in to do this. And when I say work, it's your mindset. It's you actually telling yourself that you are worth more, and that changing and shifting your perception of things is what you have to do to be able to love yourself more, because it really boils down to how you treat yourself. That is in reflection to how you treat other people. That is in reflection to the money that comes into your life. That is in reflection to the relationships that you have, to your job, to all of these things. Because how you're seeing your world is a reflection of everything that is happening in your world. And I realized that, even though I realized that a long time ago, it took me a long time to shift my mindset. And like I said, this is an active work. It is an active consciousness that you have to live by each and every day. Sometimes I wake up and I don't feel that great. Like, it's like, your mind takes over and it tells you all of these things that you have to do. And it tells you all of the things that, maybe didn't go well the day before. But the fact is that you're in a new day and you can't relive the past. So leave it back there and just start over again. It's okay. We get so caught up in being attached to all the bad that happens. And I'm not saying that the bad that happened didn't happen, and that you don't feel certain things physically maybe attached to that, which is what trauma is. Or you don't relive that in your head over and over. But the thing is, in order to really heal, you have to let go. And you have to be able to love those parts of yourself, because sometimes the trauma that we relive, there's parts of us that blame ourselves, and there's shame and there's guilt associated with it. And the fact of the matter is, we are scamming ourselves because we are robbing ourselves of the life that we can really have by attaching ourselves to that constant fear, that constant anxiety, that constant trauma that relives because we feel like we get triggered. And again, I know all of that is very real because I have dealt with it many, many times in my life. But what I'm saying is, if you can change just one perception of how you may see something, it can unlock a different mindset that shows you something other than everything is just really, really bad. It will change your need to want to always feel accepted or have to go way out of your boundaries that you set or pour into other people just to feel seen or liked or heard. Because the fact of the matter is, if you feel like you're worthy, if you feel the self-worth inside of yourself, you're not going to go outside to look for that. You're not going to really, really need all that validation from others. Yes, it does feel good to be loved and feel seen and feel heard, but not at the expense of yourself. And that is your expense emotionally, your expense financially, your expense physically, just to feel like you're seen by others, because you're scamming yourself to do so. And you are worth so much more than that. I know that on the other side of pain is most certainly your power. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to give in, no matter what you're looking at, no matter what you're dealing with. You may be dealing with grief. You may be dealing with loss. You may be dealing with divorce. You may be dealing with a financial burden, a financial loss. But I promise you, this is temporary. I promise it is temporary. And no matter how you feel right in this moment today, it does not have to dictate how you're going to wake up and feel tomorrow. I want you to check in with yourself, and I want you to just breathe. Just take some deep breaths. Put on some meditation music or whatever helps you to feel better, to feel lighter, to feel calmer. I want you to look in the mirror at yourself and look at all of the beauty that you see inside of yourself. And not break yourself down for all the things that you don't see or you want to be, or the comparison or all those things. No. Look at the individual beauty of who you are inside and out. Just start there. And tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am intelligent. Like, it may seem small and it may seem silly to some people, but sometimes we have to tell ourselves that. You have to tell yourself that. To be honest, we need to tell ourselves that every day, because we are the people that validate ourselves. And then whatever someone says to you, that is a validation of what you already know about yourself. It just makes it 10 times better. But you're the one that has to know that about yourself first. It has taken me so long to get to this point in my life. And like I said, it's still a work in progress. But if I can share this with you to tell you, despite all that you've been through, despite what you're going through in this very moment, it will not stay this way. And you have the opportunity to just make that one single shift in one thought so that your perception changes and that you see something differently. I want to send everyone an abundance of love and light. I want you to check in with me. My consultation link is in the description. You can go to my website and schedule with me. It's going to take you to my credit repair website. We're working on my my new website for financial therapy, but you can book there with me and we can have a free consultation for therapy, for financial therapy, and see if I'm a right fit for you. Because it's important to heal through all of this so that you can really live the life that you deserve. And love yourself. Truly love the person that you are, because you are so worth it. You are so worth it. So just remember, with all of this and everything that's to come, that's big, big abundance, big, big love, big, big life that you have. that you are truly your greatest value and you are truly your greatest asset. I love you. Take care.